So the next question I'm getting asked a lot is, Abe, what should I look out for? What are insurance companies going to be doing under this new law? So first, I just want to say that not every insurance company is going to take absolute advantage of the law. Not every insurance company is going to say, ha, we got you. You don't have your attorney's fees to protect you anymore, right? I'm a glass half full kind of guy. I think that most insurance companies are going to pay you most of the money. Could they shortchange you $10 a code? Will you live? Yeah. Will they line item some codes and say, we're not paying for this, but we'll pay for this? Yeah. Will you live? Yes. Okay. I think the substandard insurance companies, which we know their names, right? Rhymes with Schmenited Auto. Okay. Those companies are going to definitely take advantage of this law, and they already, in a lot of cases, deny cases for material misrep. They pay you zero. They deny a lot of cases for EUO no-shows, that they send one letter to the patient in English, knowing that the patient only speaks Spanish and can't read English. They send them the letter in English, knowing that they're not going to respond. They're going to miss the date. They set the date for a week from the letter is mailed out, and in some cases, the people received the letter 2 days after the EUO took place, right? We know that's going to happen. But certain companies will definitely take advantage of this new law. And there's going to be instances where you're going to treat someone, you're going to bill PIP, and you probably won't get paid. But there's still a demand letter, okay? There may not be attorney's fees for cases where the policy was issued on 325 or later, 326, that direction. Now, what do I think is going to happen? First off, and let me just backtrack 1 second. Definitely start saving your money if you're a chiropractor in Florida and you rely heavily on PIP to pay your bills, pay your employees, right? Pay your rent. Make sure that you build up a cushion, because you don't know what these insurance companies are going to be doing. So basically, build up a cushion. If you have old PIP files, I'm right here. Send me your PIP files. I'll go through them. If my office already went through them, don't worry, we're handling them. But get your PIP files out to somebody, okay? Preferably me, but to somebody, because there's money in that they're gold. And if the policy was issued on 324, 323, that direction, there's attorney's fees. You will get paid on those files for sure. And you'll get paid, if you have an attorney handling your stuff, you get paid 100% of what you're owed in most cases, okay? Now, moving forward, I think you're going to see a lot of IME cutoffs. Over the last 5 years, insurance companies have stopped doing IME cutoffs on a lot of the cases because they know they're going to pay another chiropractor $250 to do an IME cutoff. Abe's going to get the case. Abe's going to send a demand letter. They're not going to pay. Abe's going to sue and get paid attorney's fees. So they're like, you know what? Just stop doing IME cutoffs. We're losing money on this deal. Now, under the new law, there's no attorney's fees. I am expecting a lot of chiropractic care to be cut off. Now, I'm going to give you a tip. You're going to say, Abe, you're the smartest guy alive. If you feel that chiropractic care is necessary, reasonable, related, going to help the patient improve their medical condition, get them connected with a medical doctor. Refer the patient to a medical doctor. Have that patient, have that medical doctor refer the patient back to you for chiropractic adjustments, whatever it is that medical doctor thinks will improve the patient. Therapeutic exercises, hot packs, cold packs, e-stim, whatever, manual therapy, whatever it is, okay? Neuromuscular reeducation, whatever. Have that medical doctor refer the patient back to you. The law for PIP is very clear. Only a chiro can cut off a chiro. Only an MD can cut off an MD. If you can get the medical doctor to refer the patient back to you, now, in theory, the insurance company will have to get a chiro to cut off your care, get a medical doctor to cut off that medical doctor. So they're going to end up spending a bunch of money to cut off a patient twice. So we know that chiropractic care is the least invasive medical care that you could provide someone after a car accident, right? Therapies, adjustments, very safe and effective. And it's less invasive than, let's say, surgery or getting an epidural or facet injection, a long needle inserted into your spine. But insurance companies are going to look to do IME cutoffs on patients because it's going to save them money, okay, for no other reason. So definitely I am expecting a lot of IME cutoffs. I gave you a great tip there about medical doctors. You can have an in-house medical doctor do it. I would prefer an independent medical doctor, an orthopedic surgeon down the road or something that obviously it's their signature, their name. They're going to have to agree with that. I do think that chiropractic care will be cut off sooner than it used to be, right? I think around maybe the 30-day mark, they're going to cut off chiropractic care. There's no attorney's fees anymore. There's no hammer, so they're gonna do a lot of cutoffs. I gave you that example there. What else do I think is going to happen? I think there's going to be a lot of denials for certain CPT codes. I think the insurance companies are going to line item delete certain CPT codes. They're going to say this isn't reimbursable because of some obscure Medicare guideline from 100 years ago. We're not paying this because it's the same anatomical region. Stuff like that. Maybe over-utilization. They're going to say, why did you provide 5 different types of therapy to this patient on one visit, and maybe get a peer review, okay? Instead of an IME cutoff, we know that a peer review is also called a paper review. It's where a doctor doesn't even look at the patient. They just review the medical records, sign a document saying, I don't think this care is reasonable, related, or necessary, or I think that the doctor in this case overtreated the patient without ever looking at the person. And they usually, I think, charge $75 for a peer review. Maybe with inflation, it's $100, but still, we're going to see a lot of that happening. Also, this is super important. If the insurance company doesn't like the clinic, the doctor, the patient, they think the accident is suspicious, the insurance company can now, under the new law, where there's no attorney's fees for policies issued on 325, 326, that direction, they're going to definitely take advantage of that. They're going to delay payments. Okay, so normally we know that PIP has 30 days to pay a bill from receipt. They're going to delay payments. They might just have an investigation open for 6 months, a year. The law in the PIP statute is very clear. They have 90 days to conduct an investigation, 90. That could be 120, 180. Who's going to stop them, right? There's no hammer. There's no mechanism to keep the insurance companies honest. So I think if there's let's say a clinic the insurance company doesn't like, they're like, you guys are too busy to be, you're making too much money, right? Instead of investigating the clinic and maybe suing the clinic because they have evidence of some sort of fraud or some underhanded dealings, what they could do is just simply not pay. And if you want to get paid, you're going to have to hire a lawyer to sue and keep a percentage of that money. Remember, you can still do, if you watch the first video, you could still do AOB lawsuits. There is that. And they can just wait until they get a demand letter. Okay, right now, under the law before, from 324, March 24th, and 323, that direction, there's attorney's fees. If the insurance company waits 120 days when they only had 90, lawyer can send a demand letter. They're probably going to continue with the denial. Lawyer sues, they pay right away. Under this new law, they'll wait till they get the demand letter. Maybe they'll pay, maybe they won't. Maybe they'll just wait 6 more months. Still, we would send a demand letter, but they could do that. Also, this is important here, and this is what we talked about in the, I think it was the earlier video, is to build a cushion, okay, a financial cushion, a money cushion for you, for your practice, because we don't know where this is going to go. Like I said, let's say you're in an area where you get a lot of substandard insurance policies, okay? The guys that don't advertise on TV, okay? The ones that are for people that are in 10 car accidents, 2 car accidents every year, something like that. We know who they are. They're all like, they're not based outside of Florida. They're just small Miami insurance companies. On average, I collect right now $424 per file that I get from a doctor. So if a doctor gives me 10 files, on average, I'll get that doctor $4,200. And if they give me 100 files, I'll get them $42,000, all money that was underpaid by the insurance company, right? Under the new law for policies issued on March 25th, March 26th, that way, I believe that $424 figure is going to jump up to $1,500, $2,000. Nothing's going to stop the insurance companies from being dishonest. And unfortunately, this is the new law. We have to live with it. But I think that the doctors need to be prepared for that, because let's say on average, a doctor's office receives, there's $10,000 in PIP benefits. Let's say on average, a chiropractor office receives about $6,000 on average. Okay. In my experience, that's kind of the norm for what a chiropractor's office receives from PIP. There's still MRIs. There's maybe some orthopedic care, maybe a little hospital visit or an urgent care visit, whatever. $6,000 on average. I'm expecting that number for the chiropractor to go down. Maybe $4,000 out of the $10,000 on average will go to the chiropractic office, okay? So build that cushion, okay? One way to do that is to save. Another way is to make money, and you can make money by going through your old PIP files. So have somebody, preferably me, go through your old PIP files so that you can get that money now, because in 6 months, there's not going to be any attorney's fees, because remember, the policy goes by the policy issue date. So if policy is issued on 3/25, if it's a 6-month policy, I'm not a mathematician here, but like towards the end of September, moving forward, there's going to be 0 attorney's fees by the policy issue date. Not like in September, there's magically no attorney's fees. If the policy was issued 3/24, 3/23, that way, February, January, there's still going to be attorney's fees for 5 full years. Okay? So build that cushion, because your average reimbursement per patient is going to go down.